I think I messed up. What up, ladies and jams, turkeys and hams? I'm gonna say that from now on. So I've got to charge the battery. I totally screwed up. I'm gonna discuss this in a second. Watch this clip of what I did last week while I charged the camera. Be back in a few. For my road trip of bringing car content back to 2020, I'm visiting a friend and helping fix their car today. I've come to the great state of Georgia to do that, and it is somebody you probably know. We're about to be at his house, and we're going to get together and fix his car. Okay, kids, so I'm here at David Patterson's house, that dude in blue. We're here to fix his Integra, to finally get his axles situated and figured out and get this Integra back on the road because it's an awesome car with an awesome swap and I can't just let it sit here. So we're going to get this thing fixed up, get the axles fixed so this thing is drivable again. Step 1, get the car off the ground. Step 2, take the wheel off the ground. Make sure you kids secure the car with a jack stand, otherwise you might die. Problem right here, common among K-Series when you're using stock axles. So now we're going to take this fork off right here.
DJ2, wait, about a year ago.
I got to get this axle nut off. Oh, okay. Let's hope she's charged enough. Oh yeah. Coax it. She goes. Now what this will do, once you pull this out of the way, let's always go forward. Bam. This will give you the space to pull the axle out.
Bam, just like
and
that.
She's out of here. Now most of you Honda guys out there completely understand how to take this system apart. Now normally we have to remove the ball joint, but the axle was already popped out of the half shaft. Clearly there's axle grease everywhere, so we're going to be cleaning that up, then moving on to the other side. I've got to also go ahead and bust off this ball joint loose so that I can move the hub out for when we put the new axle in. Okay kids, so we've got the intermediate shaft right here where my finger's pointing. This is the bad axle. We're gonna do it. It's a bad axle. Obviously, with pulling the intermediate shaft out, there's just 3 14mm bolts, no big deal. All right, kids, as you can tell, we've got David's RPF1 back on the car, and we finally got the axle, half shaft, and everything installed. Everything looks good, fits good. These are drive shaft shop axles, and they're plenty long enough. Got the axle nut indented, so he is safe to go, and he's not gonna get stuck on the road anymore. Okay, kids, we have wrapped up David's axle install. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing should be good to go on the road. He's got the drive shaft shop axles in. We've got everything put together. It looks great. Everything looks like it's going to work no problem. Here are the old dead axles. David is putting the lip finally on. And who knows, we might be able to take it for a drive. Be good. All right, now fire.
It's been a while.
Yeah, rev it up.
Finally!
So I'm gonna give you guys an update on what's going on. Because I think I may have screwed up, I don't know. So I gotta make a decision on what to do. First, I'm gonna update you on the engine and trans because I have been working diligently, non-stop on this. So now our trans is just about ready to go. Got all that nice red MPC hardware on there. Nice fit and finish. So everything's getting underway, it's really exciting. A couple things we got left to do is put the clutch on. I'm not 100% on if I'm gonna do this engine bay, or this color, or go with it. But as of right now, I might. I've got the engine all cleaned up. I've got it painted my typical color. You guys know me, I always use the flame-proof header paint because it finishes flat. Doesn't have a sparkly finish like it does with the engine paint. Now I've got this thing all cleaned up. I picked it up from Tennessee last week. Good buddy NPC Nate over at NPC actually sent me this valve cover he had laying around. Got the Hybrid Racing plug cover on here, oil cap, and I do have more Hybrid Racing parts to use. Just getting everything cleaned up. As you can see up here, I've got the water pump, belt tensioner, the alternator, and I've got the manifold over there. Now you can see, of course, we're using Hotsport mounts again, like always, only the best, as well as the NPC 100-proof hardware, and I chose red for this build. I just think it's gonna go well. So I also not only have the transmission kit installed and the mount kit hardware installed. As you can see, it's kind of dark. Pull this into the light, that way you can see it. Aww, beautiful. It just looks phenomenal. The 100-proof hardware really pops. So of course we've got the mounts, we've got everything touched up black. I've got a brand new clutch seal there. I've got new axle seals. I've got a clutch and flywheel kit over here, but I'm waiting on pressure plate bolts and alignment tool. So once I get those in the mail, I can then put the clutch on and mount the transmission to the engine, get those ready to go. I've also got the engine hardware ready to go. That's gonna be for another video, as well as everything underneath the car. As well. So I think I've completely screwed up. I'm looking at the engine bay and I'm wondering if I should go with this. I'm going to basically explain what happened. I went and picked out some paint. It turned out to be a color I liked. I sprayed some paint in a corner, and once it dried, it looked really great. So I decided to continue to spray the bay. The thing is that the fumes for this paint got really strong, and you know, I'm just in a garage in an apartment complex and kind of got a little freaked out about you know, fogging the neighbors out. So I stopped and waited, came back the next day, sprayed some more, and I don't think the paint really liked that. So there are spots where it reacted, and so I went back and scuffed some of it up and touched some of it up, and then some areas I haven't. So for some reason on camera it looks lighter than it is. It's pretty dark of a color, but anyway. So here's the bay. This is the color I've used. Looks, you know, gray primer blue-ish, but it looks like dark gray in person. I don't know why. So you can tell the firewall is still silver. It's still stock. That's because I did a test run in this corner here and then proceeded to spray all that, come this way, and then spray all that stuff. And it looks pretty good in photos, but you can tell in certain sections when you get right on it. I don't know if the camera can really pick it up, but you can see like imperfections in it. And so you can see in the light how it looks, and then, you know. So I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. You can see scratches and stuff underneath the surface, and then go on to this side. This is where I started to sand some stuff down just because, yeah. So I'm not really 100% sure. You can see where it reacted right there. Yeah, you see that? So now this build wasn't supposed to be a super duper showy build. I did want it to be, you know, somewhat presentable, and I'm a little upset by how this turned out, and I know I shouldn't really expect anything different because this is not the proper way to paint stuff. You know, I just kind of found the right color in a spray can and started spraying. The mistake I made with the paint was that it's the type of paint that you basically get one pass and that's it. My problem is that I overlayered the coats, and that was not good. The paint's so thick that it tends to lay out, and it looks good with one heavy coat and you're good. So I'm not sure whether I should just send it or, you know, wait to find somebody that can paint it. There are people that could do it, but they are busy with other projects right now. So the question is, do I wait? Do I figure something out? Do I just send it? You know what, just spray the rest of it and send it. Or even a friend of mine suggested that I go ahead and do the swap, take the car somewhere else, pull the swap out, paint it, not a big deal. So I'm not sure what to do as of right now. So I'm gonna have to make a decision here in the next couple days about what to do. Really what I've been doing is I just stopped to let it dry, because when you spray paint out of a can, especially as heavy as I did, it takes a couple of you know, days to dry at least. Luckily I'm in Florida. So the question is yeah, what do? Do I go back over it and sand it all back down, or just, you know, keep going? So I have to make a decision on what I want to do to move forward with this. So there's a ghost in here. I mean, as far as the engine and transmission go, they look phenomenal and they're almost ready to go. Like I said, just waiting on a few parts. I am still looking for an RBC manifold, but I may just run, I do have the stock one, the stock K20A2, because that's what this is. This is a K20A2. K20A2 trans. Anyway guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. Things are going pretty well for 2020. We're on a roll. So from this point on, I'm gonna try to keep with a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule with some other stuff peppered in here and there. I'm gonna try to upload as much as I can as of right now. The thing is I just really wanna get this stuff done, so I'm really trying to put the work in. But anyway, thank you guys so much for all the support. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Keep living your dreams.